Now it's time for culture, and today we focus on photography. Virginie Hertz joins me. You're going to tell us about Mois de la Photo here in Paris. Can you tell us more?
Yes, well, during the whole month of November, Paris is becoming the capital of photography with hundreds of exhibitions in museums, galleries, cultural centers, no less than 300,000 visitors are expected, and it's an event that dates back to 1980 and takes place every other year. Its purpose is to show the diversity of this artistic scene, and this year there are three main themes. The first is enchanted reality, the second is small is beautiful in English, and French photography. And for that particular theme, the Paris-based European House of Photography is showing a retrospective of 50 years of images taken by French photographers. Let's have a look at them. The first one is a portrait of Daniel Cohn-Bendit, a student leader of May 68, who is now a European MP. The second one was...
Very moody shot there.
Exactly. All these photos are very typical of French, like this very suggestive knee, for example, taken by Bernard Plossu. There is something very elegant about it, a touch of fashion. So the first pictures we saw belong to the so-called humanist school. Then the second photos were from the narrative school. And here, these very particular, in a very different genre, these very particular landscapes also have a touch of French, but it's also a very old reality. It's a Paris or a France that has disappeared.
Okay, the aftermath of a fire there we seem to be looking at. But alongside these classical French photographies, you can also discover new talent.
Yes, lots of them, of the talents who have presented are very new talents, are not well known. It's the case of Amaury d'Acunha. He's considered to be one of the most promising French photographers, and let's have a look at some of his pictures. So to start, a series of strange anonymous portraits with very bright colors. They have a strong presence, even though you don't see their eyes, which is pretty annoying, actually, and makes you want to wait the next moment when they come out of the water or turn their head. Here in another genre, isolated scenes or things like this car covered by snow or this head full of grass. There is also this woman sitting in a cafe, which is the next picture. Here we see it. So are these stage pictures or, on the contrary, spontaneous shots? It's very hard to guess, but that's exactly what makes them interesting. That's for the photo of Amaury d'Acunha. So we went also to see one of the organizers of this month of the photo, la Mois de la Photo. He's called Jean-Luc Monterosson, and we asked him what does French photography mean to him.
I'm not saying there's a specific French style. Photography today is international. It's not about tooting our national horn. It's about showing this work that stays in the shadows. I'm always surprised to see in museums abroad that they're exhibiting German photographers, American photographers, and now Chinese photographers. While it's true that economic power boosts cultural power, in France we have high-quality photographers, and we have to show them off because these artists should be in the spotlight so that art collectors can acquire their work.
So that's French photography, Virginie, but there's a second theme, small is beautiful.
Yes, small is beautiful. The idea behind it is let's go back to a traditional and more intimate relationship with photography. It's a sort of reaction to the current trend of meager-size images that you can see in very trendy and arty exhibitions. The idea is let's go back to paper pictures, like photos we used to stick in the family albums, for example. And here I'd like to focus on Hannah Williger's work on her Polaroid photos. Let's have a look at them. So as you can see, the human body is at the center of her work, particularly her body. And her approach is far away from the classical female nude. It's not sexy, it's not romantic. On the contrary, it's pretty crude, but also very creative. And you can see her work, particularly at the Swiss Cultural Center.
And it's also on show at the Georges Pompidou Center here in Paris. And a last theme now, enchanted reality, sorry.
Yes, Enchanted Reality. It's a catch-all theme with very diverse exhibitions. And one of them is called Lost Highways, a series of images taken by Chantal Stoman from suspended highways in different cities across the world. For example, here the two first pictures were taken in Bombay. The next one was taken in Cairo or Sao Paulo. All are black and white, taken at night. They give you an insight into people's apartment, and it's a really interesting point of view. We went to meet Chantal Stoman to hear what she had to say on that particular picture.
I took this photo in Mumbai, India. I was really interested in the architecture of this building. In Europe, we're not used to seeing such rich architectural detail. The interesting thing for me was that in Mumbai, homes are very small, which let me include a lot in the shot, because each window belongs to a single room. The kitchen, the dining room, the room where the children eat or sleep. And I could show this intimacy on a large scale and better understand the people and their lives in a place that's very different, culturally speaking, than what I've known.
Virginie Hertz, thank you for bringing us today's culture, and that's all for the moment, but there's more from the team here in the newsroom coming up shortly.